We're going to describe our Mini-Q 12-channel head box and how it can be used to do quick assessments, measuring 2 channels at a time. This device consists of a switching head box with connections for standard electrocaps, a selector switch which has 6 positions and can be used to select the pair of electrodes for recording, and it interacts with our BrainMaster hardware module as well as with the BrainMaster 2.0 software. Setting this up for use is very simple. You'll observe that it has 5 wires coming out of the front which have the same labels and colors as the 5 connectors on the front of a BrainMaster. So we simply take them and plug them in one at a time into the appropriate colors, and this then allows us to connect the Mini-Q head box into a 2-channel BrainMaster. Just like that. Now in addition, the Mini-Q is used in conjunction with a standard electrocap. I have one here, for example. This is provided by Electrocap International, and it is an approved clinical cap with a variety of electrode positions, all in the standard 1020 locations. It also has a connector on the end of a cable which is compatible with the Mini-Q head box as well as with other standard products. I'll simply take this connector and plug it into the back of the Mini-Q as follows. And now we've established the connection from here to the cap. Now placing a cap like this is a standard procedure. You should follow the instructions from the provider of the cap. In this case it's Electrocap International. What we'll do is, again, Bill has generously offered to be a model for us here. We'll place this cap, and pulling it snugly down, we orient it so that it automatically finds the correct electrode sensor locations. We make sure this center piece is centered. Excuse me, Bill. There we go. So now we have the center line. Pull this down. And all of these positions are now correct. In addition, this cap has connectors for ear clips, which we have over here. And we've already prepped the earlobes, so we'll take this connector and plug it in as follows. And then we'll simply take this ear clip and place it on the left ear. Just like that. And we'll do the same on the right side, plugging the ear clip into the connector and then placing it on the earlobe. What we now have is the head cap in place with 2 ear clips, and the way they connect in through the Mini-Q is we will be able to measure the electrodes in pairs using a linked ear reference by using this selector switch. And we'll briefly review the electrodes that it samples. In position 1, we measure FZ and CZ. In position 2, we measure F3 and F4. In position 3, we measure C3 and C4. In position 4, we measure P3 and P4. Then in position 5, we measure what are now called T3 and T4, which we know will be T7 and T8 in the future listing. And finally, the 6th position measures O1 and O2. So by switching 6 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we can measure a good sample of the electrodes. Now we've affixed the ear clips and those are well connected. We're going to briefly review how to prepare the electrode sites in a standard electrocap. Following the recommendations of Electrocap, we're using the gel, which they provide, and a blunt syringe. We draw a bit of the gel into the blunt syringe, place the syringe in one of the electrode locations and gently rub a little bit just to get the scalp abraded, and then insert a little of the gel until it protrudes out the top. We do this in succession at each of the locations, CZ, FZ, and so on, adding gel, abrading lightly, making sure a little gel comes out, and that's all there is to preparing each of these sites for use with the electrocap. Now you can check electrode impedances quite easily by using, again, a standard impedance checker, and you could take the leads directly out of the Mini-Q. For example, the two actives, place them here and here, and as you switch from position to position, we'd be seeing the electrode impedance between these pairs and making sure that all the electrodes have a sufficiently low impedance. Okay, now we have everything connected for the Mini-Q and we've set up the protocol file, so we're ready to run. We'll hit run the next session for a 6-minute duration. Okay, and making sure the Brainmaster's on and the Mini-Q is in position 1, we hit go. It says ready to start. Place electrodes for Mini-Q, set switch to position 1, turn on module, hit OK to start now. That's what we'll do. It now opens the communication. There we see module is running. To start this session, set Mini-Q switch to position 1, press OK when EEG signal is good. We do see a clean EEG on both sides, so we're going to hit OK. The clock is just set to 6 minutes and is counting down. We're just having Bill sit quietly with his eyes open. This is a 60-second assessment run. You can see when he blinks his eyes, it does go outside of the range, so those will be rejected. And we're now 15 seconds into the first run. During the monitoring, we can look at this brain mirror screen below. It's the brain mirror with the filtered outputs. If we want, we could change that to FFTs or look at any other displays we want while we're running. For example, this mode. We're able to see the theta, the alpha, low beta, beta, high beta. Watching the clock, we're counting down 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. It now says assessment is paused. Set Mini-Q switch to position 2 and hit spacebar to continue. So now we have the time we need to change the switch position, and we can see that the signal is recaptured, it's clean again, and now that it's recovered, we'll hit OK. And now we're recording from our second pair. The first minute was recorded from FZ and CZ, and now we're recording from F3 and F4. Right now we're about 15 seconds in, and in 45 seconds we'll be done with this minute. The second minute is complete. It says assessment is paused. Set Mini-Q switch to position 3. Again, we see the signal jumps, but now it comes back into range, and we'll hit OK. We're now recording from the third pair. The third minute's up. The signal is now clean again. We hit OK. OK, it's paused. Now we'll set to switch 5. And we'll see the EEG comes back. We press OK. Now we're measuring the fifth pair. This would be T3 and T4, the temporal lobes. This completes the 5th minute, so we simply go to position 6 now. Wait for the EEG to stabilize, and hit OK. And now we're measuring our final pair, O1 and O2. The assessment's now complete. All 6 minutes have been acquired, and the system automatically shuts off.